Rachel Kim walked into Precision Arms, a gun shop in Virginia Beach known for catering to military and law enforcement professionals. At 5'4" with delicate features and wearing a simple sundress, she looked nothing like the typical customer. The moment she stepped through the door, she felt the weight of judgment. Three men browsing rifles turned to stare. The clerk behind the counter, a heavy-set man with a bushy beard and a tactical vest covered in patches, didn't even try to hide his smirk. Rachel had faced this kind of dismissal her entire life, but today it stung differently. Today, she wasn't shopping for herself. Before this story takes a turn that will leave you absolutely stunned, do me a favor right now and drop a comment telling me which country you're watching from. I want to see how far this message reaches across the globe. And trust me when I say what happens in the next few minutes will change how you think about assumptions forever. Rachel approached the counter with quiet confidence, her voice clear and professional. I'm looking for recommendations on long-range precision rifles. Something reliable at 1,000 yards, preferably in .308, with a quality optics system. The clerk's smirk widened into a condescending grin. He exchanged glances with the customers behind her, and one of them actually chuckled. "Sweetheart," the clerk said, his tone dripping with patronizing amusement, "maybe you want to start with something simpler? We've got some nice 22s in pink over there. Very beginner-friendly." The other customers weren't even trying to be subtle now. "Dave, maybe she saw it in a video game," one of them said loud enough for everyone to hear. "Call of Duty expert right here?" Laughter rippled through the shop. Rachel felt her cheeks flush, but she kept her composure. "I'm not a beginner, and I know exactly what I'm looking for. Can you show me your precision rifle options, or should I take my business elsewhere?" The clerk leaned back against the wall, crossing his arms. "Listen, lady, I don't know what you think you know about firearms, but long-range shooting isn't something you just pick up. It takes years of training, serious upper body strength, and honestly, most women don't have the focus or the patience for it." Rachel opened her mouth to respond when the bell above the door chimed. 7 men walked in, and the atmosphere in the shop changed instantly. They weren't large or particularly intimidating at first glance, but they moved with a synchronized economy of motion that spoke of serious training. All 7 wore casual civilian clothes, jeans and t-shirts, but something about them screamed military. The clerk's expression shifted from smug superiority to nervous recognition. One of the men, a lean Hispanic guy with kind eyes and gray threading through his dark hair, walked directly to Rachel and spoke loud enough for the entire shop to hear. "Chief Kim, sorry we're late. Traffic on the interstate was brutal." He turned to the clerk, his smile friendly but his eyes absolutely cold. "I'm Master Chief Petty Officer Luis Mendez, United States Navy SEALs. This is Chief Petty Officer Rachel Kim, currently serving as our unit's primary designated marksman instructor. She holds the base record for longest confirmed training shot at 1,480 meters. She's also the person who's been training us for the past 6 months because, frankly, she's a better shot than any of us. So when she asks you about precision rifles, you might want to take her seriously. If you just got chills running down your entire body, smash that like button right now, because what happens next is even better." The color drained from the clerk's face. The customers who had been laughing suddenly found the floor extremely interesting. One of the other SEALs, a massive black man with arms like tree trunks, stepped forward. "I'm Senior Chief Marcus Williams. Chief Kim qualified me on my last recertification. I've been shooting for 15 years, and she still spotted a breathing irregularity in my technique. That was throwing my shots off by 2 inches at 800 yards. 2 inches. In case you're wondering, that's the kind of detail that saves lives in the field." Another SEAL, younger but with the same quiet intensity, added, "She's not here shopping for herself, genius. She's here because we asked her to recommend equipment for our new guys coming into the unit. We trust her judgment more than we trust our own." The clerk was stammering now, his face red with embarrassment. I didn't know. I apologize. I just thought." Master Chief Mendez cut him off, his voice still polite but with an edge that could cut glass. "You thought that because she's a woman in a sundress, she couldn't possibly know anything about firearms. You made an assumption based on absolutely nothing but her appearance. How many of your customers have you underestimated? How much business have you lost because you judge people before they even speak? Rachel finally spoke, her voice calm and measured. It's fine, I'm used to it. This is actually why I usually shop online. She looked directly at the clerk. But my team insisted I come here because they said you had the best selection in the area. Clearly, they were wrong about the service. She turned to leave, and all 7 seals turned with her in perfect synchronization, a silent show of solidarity that spoke volumes. The clerk practically vaulted over the counter. Wait, please wait. Chief Kim, I was completely out of line. I'm sorry, truly. Please, let me show you everything we have. No charge for the optics package, whatever you choose. I'll personally ensure everything is exactly what you need. Rachel paused, considering. Master Chief Mendez leaned in and whispered, Your call, Chief. We can go somewhere else. Or you can teach this guy a lesson he'll never forget. Rachel thought about all the times she had been dismissed. All the times she had walked away to avoid confrontation. All the young women who might walk into this shop after her. She turned back to the clerk. Okay, but not because of the discount. Because I think you just learned something important, and I want to see if it sticks. For the next hour, Rachel walked the clerk through precision rifle systems with a depth of knowledge that left him speechless. She explained ballistic coefficients, wind deflection calculations, scope parallax adjustments, and barrel harmonics with the casual expertise of someone who had spent thousands of hours mastering her craft. The SEALs watched with obvious pride as their teammate transformed the shop owner's embarrassment into education. Other customers who had been in the shop drifted over, listening to Rachel's explanations, asking questions that she answered with patience and clarity. By the end, the clerk had pulled out a notebook and was actually taking notes. Chief Kim, I've been in this business for 20 years, and I thought I knew everything. You just taught me more in 1 hour than I learned in the last 5 years. He paused, genuine shame in his eyes. And you taught me something even more important. I've been making assumptions about customers for years. Women, young guys, anyone who doesn't look like what I think a shooter should look like. How many talented people have I turned away? How many people like you have I insulted? Rachel's expression softened. The important thing is what you do with this lesson. Every person who walks through that door deserves respect until they prove otherwise. Knowledge doesn't have a gender, an age, or a dress code. As Rachel and the SEALs left the shop with their equipment, one of the younger team members, a quiet guy named Jackson, spoke up. Chief, why didn't you tell him right away who you were? You could have shut that down in the first minute, Rachel smiled. Because if I had led with my credentials, he would have respected my rank and my unit, not me. The lesson wouldn't have landed. Sometimes people need to feel the full weight of their mistake before they're ready to change. That clerk will never make that assumption again. And maybe, just maybe, the next woman who walks in there will get treated with the respect she deserves from the start. Master Chief Mendez put his hand on her shoulder. This is why you're not just a great shot, Chief. You're a great leader. You turned a humiliating situation into a teaching moment. That's a rare skill, Rachel shrugged, but she was smiling. Someone did the same for me once, when I was starting out and everyone told me I was too small, too female, too different to make it in this world. A senior chief took the time to teach me instead of dismissing me. I'm just paying it forward. As they loaded the equipment into their vehicles, Rachel looked back at the gun shop. Through the window, she could see the clerk talking animatedly with a young woman who had just walked in. His body language completely different from an hour ago. Respectful, attentive, open, Rachel smiled. Mission accomplished. If this story reminded you that everyone deserves respect regardless of how they look, that assumptions are the enemy of truth, and that real strength includes lifting others up even when they've tried to tear you down, then I need you to do something important right now. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. Because every week I bring you stories like this. Stories about people who faced judgment with grace and changed minds with excellence. Share this video with someone who's been underestimated. Someone who's been dismissed because of their appearance. Someone who needs to know that their skills and knowledge matter more than anyone's assumptions. Drop a comment and tell me about a time you proved the doubters wrong, or about someone who stood up for you when others didn't believe in you. I read every single comment, and your stories inspire everything I create. Thank you for being here, for believing in respect and dignity for everyone, and for being part of a community that celebrates competence over assumptions. I'll see you in the next story.